Welcome to Palantir and welcome to Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley has gone through many phases. The most important phase was when it was fully aligned with the US and the West, which is how in part we won World War II and how we changed the world to become freer, more democratic, more tolerant, more willing to listen, how everyone's standard of living went up, and basically people learned to get along. And then you had the consumer internet thing. I bash it all the time. Now it's kind of boring to bash these things as carcinogenic, waste of time, ways of flushing our talent down the toilet. And most importantly, they did not transfer any wealth to the populace, either intellectual capital or ways of organizing. And so we got a very, very divided West. And now we're in a weird phase with AI where it's like a very, very unusual revolution. And some people are doing very well. The large language models on their own, I think, have been proven to be somewhat not useful unless you want to cheat on your homework, which could be valuable depending on the BS homework you're getting. And it's a bonanza for dyslexics like me because, who cares about all that stuff? You get paid for being creative. This moment we're in with as embodied in Foundry, Ontology, and you is a very, very special moment because there is a very selective transfer of knowledge and opportunity to a very select group of people, largely defined by, are you willing to evaluate things that work, or are you going to buy some BS ideology that worked in the past? Maybe it worked in the 50s. Maybe it worked 2 years ago. By and large, in my view, we're not a money culture at Palantir, but by and large, it's just set up to trick you to have no value, but to feel good about getting dumber every day. And we're not in that business at Palantir. And our approach to the battlefield is exactly the approach we have in US commercial, which is why we grew 71% in US commercial with a rule of 83, which basically means we're doing it with no BS, very little sales, no overhead. People are buying the product in its pure form. The young people here would say, we're like the pure drug on the streets. High priced, a real hit. You feel good for days and it makes you stronger and better. Now, I don't know if that's the right metaphor. It's not exactly my metaphor. I like fitness but the thing about this revolution is that it shifted the whole Silicon Valley landscape. Now, the official version of Silicon Valley is a truly interesting, once in a generation, once in a national history kind of thing. We happen to have it. We have other tech centers where de facto we dominate the world, mostly from here and other tech sectors that are outside of here, but in America. And even the Valley, the secret of the Valley right now, the secret you're not allowed to say to anyone is everyone's given up on randomly just sprinkling their dollars on startups. You know what they're all interested in? They're interested in you. Growth plus ontology, plus Foundry, plus large language models. They want you. And you know why they want you? Because with ontology, Foundry, and any language model that we orchestrate with you, we can change your unit economics to being pretty close to ours with your size revenue. And then you guys can also get up and pull the freak show act that I am and tell people who are insulting our country and who are against meritocracy and against free speech in US commercial and 45% growth in government like we do, and you have a rule of 83 or anything close to that, especially with the rule of 83, you get freedom. And I'll tell you, everyone here, you're tired of that BS investor who has no idea what they're talking about? You want to grow your company because you're a world-class investor. You're tired of having some analyst who woke up on the wrong side of bed and decided they didn't like you because they didn't get into your company, or they don't like you because you're not cool enough. You're tired, in our case, of being attacked by people who seemingly can't go online and spend 5 minutes looking at our architecture, but are so committed to being a product of their own weak, thin religion that they're motivated by being poorer and hurting us. You have the freedom to tell those people to go back and suffer and fail on their own. because of your unit economics. And we are going to help you get there because that is a better world for you and a much better world for us. And people in this room have already begun that journey. Some of you guys, most of you are at the beginning. Most of you people here who are exceeding are only using part of our product. Use the rest. We will subsidize you using the rest. Negotiate with us. I'll tell you how you should negotiate with us. I'll use the product in its totality, and I'll move quicker than anyone else, but I'm going to pay you a little less. So I see the results. A/B test our product against what you're using. A/B test our product against large language models. A/B test our product against the PowerPoints. A/B test our product against what the New York Times says. A/B test, just A/B test. Do it on your own. Negotiate effectively. We want speed. We want and need this country to be the strongest, most important country in the world. And I'm super proud of our stuff on the battlefield and what we do to protect our soldiers, to protect the data, to prevent abuses of the data, to prevent people from using that data to weaponize it, and to kill our enemies and scare them because they know they will be killed. That's my agenda. It doesn't have to be yours. But the single biggest thing that will make this country dominant and get rid of the parts of our country that are not meritocratic and are whining about things they don't understand is to make industry in this country look like venture did and give venture returns to growth. And that's what we're about at Palantir. And that's what this conference is actually about. And you should negotiate very effectively with us and use the rest of the product and get a discount and run like hell because someone else is going to do it and they are going to change their unit economics. If you don't believe me, walk around here in Silicon Valley. And the key to dealing with Silicon Valley people, which I didn't understand, and one of the main reasons they wouldn't invest, obviously, was they, at the time, were not super into being pro-West, being pro-America. Don't be too nice. Tell the people here, you got a week. Train's leaving the station. I'm going to change my business's unit economics in the next 3 to 6 months and succeed. And we want to be part of that journey with you. And we want to be paid. The single most unique thing that actually Palantir does is we own value creation. You should pay us based on the value, a subset of the value we create for you. Test it. I hope you have a great time. I'm really happy to be back in the Valley. And finally, we have a baller intro. We're going to put this online. In any case, welcome. It's a great pleasure to have you here. I hope to see all of you soon. And we really, really invest in you guys as partners. We view you as partners. That also means, by the way, we're going to tell you what we think. You don't have to listen, but we are sure as hell going to tell you, hey, that's not going to work. This could work. They could work. Don't buy us, buy them. That's what we do. And looking forward to having a long history with all of you.